So it's currently fall 2022. The school year has begun in the place that I work. School year has begun for my own children. And Cal State Fullerton is also about to begin as well this upcoming week. And so I can't tell you how excited I am about this. Every beginning of the year, there's a certain thrill that I have, I gotta say. And it's one that doesn't dissipate over time, even since I started about 17 years ago when I had my first opportunity. I just want to give a big shout out to actually Dr. Victoria Costa, who gave me that initial shot. And that's what I kind of want to talk about, this idea of believing in somebody and how believing in somebody can build agency in that person. And because of that experience that I had so many years ago, as I continue forward, it's given me so much courage, so much initiative, and I'm so appreciative of Dr. Vicky. Let me go ahead and share you this story. So at that time, our district was working on a grant called the Enhancing Education Through Technology Grant. I know that if I tell you computers in the hands of every student today, many of you would say, what's new about that? But this was 17 years ago when even the teacher having a laptop in the classroom was kind of a big deal, right? So imagine this, the whole class having the chance to have their own laptop carts way back then. That was considered an amazing, amazing thing way back then. And so I had a chance to be a part of that. It was Dr. Vicky Costa from Cal State Fullerton, who is now emeritus, who was providing that professional development for us. And I just learned so much. It wasn't just about technology and computers. It was about really project-based learning and using the 5 C's, communication, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and compassion, to design real inquiry-based learning experiences for our students. And so, I mean, I know today many of you are like, Jeff, what's so great about that? Many school districts are doing that. First of all, I would say that's not necessarily the case. But secondly, at that time, it was during the No Child Left Behind era where there was this huge emphasis on multiple choice testing and benchmark exams and interim benchmark exams. That's what everybody was doing. That's what we were doing way back when, 17 years ago. It's changed so much now, but at that time, we were still doing those things. And so this was cutting edge for 17 years ago. But anyways, I'm kind of digressing. So, you know, after I had the opportunity to work with Dr. Vicky Costa and learn from her, then it was a training teachers for teachers model. So what I did then was I trained another cohort of my own teachers in Anaheim. So the 40 hours that I received, I also then delivered to other teachers that were in our district as well. And I think I had a chance to do that a couple of times. And so I felt pretty proficient in delivering that in-service training. So there I was. I mean, I think I might have been I'd been teaching for 3 or 4 years and providing training for teachers who had been teaching like 10, 15, 20, even more years at the time. And so, you know, but there's always this part of me that wanted to teach at the university. So 17 years ago, I asked Dr. Vicky Costa, hey, can I come to your office and just ask and just pick your brain a little bit about what it takes to be a professor at the university? And she kindly agreed, and I really appreciate that so much. And then she gave me some great advice. At that time, I was getting my doctorate as well. And when I asked her some advice, she gave me some great advice, but I think what she offered as well was so empowering to me. She said, Jeff, how would you like to teach a course? So Dr. Victoria Costa at the time said, what would you think about teaching one of our courses, integrating technology into the curriculum, which is basically the Intel Teach to the Future professional development that I had given to teachers. And, you know, at the time I was wondering, like, can I really do this at this time? Can I really do this? But I'm so thankful that she gave me the opportunity, and I'm so thankful that I also mustered the courage to say yes, because there's a big part of me that wondered, can I do this? You know, I talked to a lot of folks who are young, emerging leaders, and in my mind, they are so skilled, so talented, so gifted, but they have this thing called imposter syndrome, where they wonder, like, can they really do this? And I think a part of the reason is because, you know, I've mentioned in the past how in all my K through 12 education, I've never had a teacher that looked like me. I never had an Asian American teacher that ever looked like me in all my K through 12 education, being born in the United States. But it doesn't only end there, but also, of course, politicians, board members, actors, the same, and pretty much most of my professors as well at the time. So I'd not seen a professor that looked like me either. So this was a huge kind of step for me to step into a world that I had not had a lot of role modeling or examples for. But anyways, I step into that arena, and I can't tell you how much I just felt so alive. You know, when you're doing what you're meant to do, you feel that sense of purpose. When I was there side by side working with fellow educators, I just felt so alive, so filled with purpose, and I loved it. And I've been continuing to teach as I've been able to. So maybe for the past 11 years now, I've been teaching 1 or 2 classes consecutively over every semester. And but at the very beginning of the semester, I'm still super excited. Still super excited about that I get to do this. There's this part of me that believes I can't believe I get to do this, and it just makes me so excited for the upcoming school year. So I guess my challenge to you is this: if you have a person, a young person that is like aspiring to be in your role or aspiring for something more, your belief in them can really give them a lot of agency. This feeling like, I can make a difference, I can do this. That is so important. Another person's belief in you. And I can't tell you how many people in my life, with Dr. Victoria Costa being one, that have been that for me. And perhaps I will share in future Ed Family videos, different folks that have really given me a feeling of agency, this feeling of I can do something. And I hope this is a challenge for you. If you're in that position, you're in that role, you're gonna do that for the next generation. You're gonna provide that belief in them for the next generation, whether it's your students or younger colleague or a person who's striving for a role. You can be that source of believing in them and giving them agency. And if you have a colleague who's believing in you, who's saying like, you know what, I think you can do this. I think you'd be great for this. And maybe there's a part of you that's thinking, I'm not so sure I'm ready for that, or it's causing some anxiety. Well, take a moment to just pause and think and take a breath and just soak in that your colleague is believing in you, and maybe you should believe in yourself more too. So this is Dr. Jeff from Ed Family, signing out.